Hey there, everybody. Mark Kep with campgroundviews.com. Utilizing a Zoom interface with YouTube for the first time. So I should be live on YouTube. Yeah, looks like I'm live on YouTube. How you doing? So, utilizing a Zoom interface with. So that's the first time I've done that. As you can see, the sound works. So how you doing? Mark Kep with campgroundviews.com. Today I'm going to go into an update. So some of our most popular videos that we have on this YouTube channel are how to plan your trips to the major destinations like Yellowstone, Yosemite, Rocky Mountain National Park, and Grand Teton National Parks. And the reason we did those videos is that we know for a lot of folks, those destinations are the first time that they've ever gone camping, and they're going to these places and they're like, how the heck does this work? What do I need to do? So in a post-COVID world, I wanted to talk a little bit about the changes. Those videos are still valid. You can go find those, search for camping at Rocky Mountain National Park or whatnot, and go look at those. But I'm going to do an update here real fast. Let me share a screen and show you some of the slight changes that you'll have to consider as you plan your trip for this 2021 season. And I know from everything we've seen, a lot of you are actively planning those trips right now. So let me pull this up. Sure. Here we are. So we're going to go to campgroundviews.com. I'm logged in. You won't be logged in, but if you get in here, there's two things you can do. You can search Rocky Mountain National Park in the search bar. Mountain, just Rocky Mountains. Let's see what happens. You can search it, or you can go to the big map. So I'm going to go to the big map because this is a lot more visually appealing for you as a viewer, since it's simply a giant Google map that pulls all of our listings. You notice it takes a second to load, and that's because it's pulling our entire database onto the map. So campgroundviews.com itself lists public places to camp, public and private parks, but places that you can go and camp overnight and focus on that. And so we've got 16,000 locations for you to look at. So if you're going to Rocky Mountain National Park, that's where I'm zoomed into here now. And you'll notice it's just northwest of Denver, west of Fort Collins, east of basically nothing. It's, there's not a lot of towns over on the west side of the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains are a chain of mountains that run from New Mexico all the way up into Canada. And Rocky Mountain National Park is obviously a very popular destination, and a lot of folks go there. So as I zoom in, this is what we need to look at when you're going to Rocky Mountain National Park. So a lot of folks that go to Rocky Mountain National Park, obviously you get a lot of folks from Denver. They know what's going on there, but you get a lot of people from California and points east, west, north, south, all around that make Rocky Mountain National Park one of their destinations. And it is a great destination to go. Very large park. The highlight of it, if you're not into hiking or anything, is this highway, Highway 34. It goes over the top. You go up to like almost 11,000 feet in your vehicle, up over the peaks there. Really beautiful pull-offs to look around. It's a very scenic spot. You'll notice all these green lines here on this Google map. That's the main reason a lot of folks go to Rocky Mountain National Park, is epic hiking. So there's just epic hiking in that area. A key thing about Rocky Mountain National Park, I wonder how many times I'm going to say Rocky Mountain National Park. Key thing about this destination is and are the overall lack of campgrounds for the volume of people that are going. So there is an issue with that, and you can actually see it here visually. So we've got some national park campgrounds, and of these, there's the popular ones, Aspen Glen, and a few others down here are the main places people go. If you view those within campgroundviews.com, you'll see that we have photos, videos, and we even have 360 tours of these campgrounds inside the park. So you can go through. These are our old school ones. So they're using our older technology, but they're still nonetheless a 360 video. So you can look around just like a Google Street View, see the roads, see the sites. And if you up your setting, you should be able to read the site number. If you can't read the site number, know that we went in loop and numbered order. So we went loop A, loop B, loop C, loop D, and then 1 through whatever in that order. So you'll be able to kind of follow along if you reference a map to see where you're at. This is actually a good image here. It shows you how beautiful Rocky Mountain National Park is. So this is a view from the campground. You can see the beautiful snow-capped mountains, the tall mountains, and there's great camping sites in all these campgrounds here. So in 2021, these are all reservations only. Who knows what the COVID restrictions are going to be in this area. Last year, they actually had a gate system, a ticketed gate system. So you had to book in advance before going to Rocky Mountain National Park. You couldn't just drive up and enter the park. You had to book in advance and arrive at certain times. Who knows where we're going in 2021, but keeping in mind that may happen, or who knows what the rules will be. So and I don't know what the rules are going to be yet. So we'll see how that rolls as the summer comes along. But keep that in the back of your mind that there may be those type of restrictions. There were ways around that last year. So if you arrived in odd hours, early morning, late at night, you could enter without a pass. And there are ways around it, but just be aware that they did have those rules. If you had a camping reservation, obviously you could get in and out with those camping reservations. So important thing. The way you book it is we actually link to the national park site. The national park site will link you over to recreation.gov for the booking. So, and you can see they have information here on the different campgrounds. So this is a good reference point for these locations and camping. But the way you would book is you'd go in, click the view the details, look at the campground. We should have a link right here. Here we go. To recreation.gov for that park. So recreation.gov, you can go in here and make your booking. So that's all the national park campgrounds. That's obvious and like, duh, Mark, we know that part. So within Estes Park itself, there are a number of private campgrounds. There's a KOA right here at the entrance into Estes Park, and there's a few other private parks right up on the drive into Moraine. These are actually good locations for, all of them are pretty good. It's a small town, but these ones are especially good if you like to bike ride or hike, because from these campgrounds, you can walk into the park. It's very, very convenient. There are also some county-owned campgrounds in the area that are available to you to camp in. And importantly, that's actually over here. Let me pull that up. Estes Park Campground at Mary's Lake. So I believe that's either a city or county park. It's a public park. Outside of the national park and these parks in Estes Park, there are also Forest Service campgrounds located near the national park on both the east side and the west side. So the main ridge runs right here north-south when you're looking at the map. And you've got one side and the other side. So on the west side, the other side, the side furthest away from Denver, that side is a little bit less crowded, and there's some pretty unique camping options over here. We prefer it ourselves. So this is a national park campground, Timber Creek. It's a great spot if you're looking for moose. That we've spotted moose from that campground ourselves when we've stayed there. So there's a lot of wildlife. It's kind of in a plains area where there's a river right here. It's kind of marshy. The animals like that area, so you tend to see a lot of animals out of there. And then when you go south, there's a town called Grand Lake. Now, there's a few things here at Grand Lake. Number one, there's private RV resorts, and there's actually a brand new private RV resort. I'm not sure exactly. Right here in Granby is this one. This is a Sun community. So if you have an RV and you're looking for awesome amenities near the national park, this is the place. As you can see from the photos, they went super high end with this location. It follows kind of the model they had for Cava Robles. Really nice park, and that's over in Granby. To give you an idea, this is about an hour drive up to the top from here. So you're about an hour from the top of the national park, and then another half an hour from the Estes Park side. So really pretty area. The nice thing about Granby and this whole region here is it's lesser known. It's a little bit harder to get to, so there's less traffic over here. If you don't want to go private park, there's some amazing Forest Service campgrounds right around this Lake Granby. So there's this location right here, Sunset Point. Let me pull this up. We have video and photos of this park. It is very scenic. Let me jump ahead in this video if I can get it. That's a regular video. We don't have 360 on this one, looks like. But there's some very scenic campgrounds around this lake. Those are some good options. These are now reservable in advance. There's Forest Service all along here. There's also dispersed camping in this region. You got to be careful though, because they've been limiting it due to how many people have been camping there. There's also these other Forest Service campgrounds in that region. So that's about the limit of your camping options in a tight radius of Rocky Mountain National Park. If you start opening it up a little bit, you'll see that there's some other campgrounds up and around this region. It gets sparse. So if you're planning your trip to Rocky Mountain National Park, I've just about covered pretty much all the spots you can go camping in or near the campground, and you should be able to find some spots as long as you're not going on peak weekends. This is an area that does sell out. So if you saw the video about Yellowstone, I talked about, they always say it's sold out, and it's not, because there's plenty of spots. Rocky Mountain National Park is very different. This area does get very congested and very crowded. So you want to be flexible in your times that you're going to be going there and staying in order to have a good stay. Big thing that we may see this next year may be restrictions on travel around the Denver area. So you may have an advantage to come in from the west side into this park. through more rural area, and you may have a little bit more freedoms to travel over in that region. So something to consider. We have another full video about planning your trip. It's still valuable. I just wanted to do a short update on what you can do to better travel into these areas. I hope you found this useful. Let me know in the comments if you liked it with a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, don't hit that thumbs down button. It hurts my feelings. I hope you're having a good day. Talk to you later.